This is your moment to slow everything down and listen carefully, because the noise of the world has trained you to rush, to react, to doubt yourself. But this space is different. This space is where you remember who you are and why you started, and the first truth you must accept is that growth is not loud, it is not dramatic, and it is not instant. Growth is quiet, repetitive, and often uncomfortable. And that discomfort you feel is not a warning sign, it is confirmation that you are no longer living on autopilot. Understand this deeply. Nothing powerful is built without time, pressure, and consistency, and the reason most people stay stuck is not because they lack ability, but because they underestimate how long real transformation takes and overestimate how motivated they will feel along the way. Motivation fades, excitement fades, external support fades, but discipline stays when it is trained. And discipline is not punishment, it is self-respect in action. You are not forcing yourself forward, you are choosing to honor your future over your present comfort, and that choice alone already separates you from the majority. Life will not slow down for you, distractions will not disappear, doubts will not politely step aside, but you do not need perfect conditions to move forward. You need commitment, and commitment is renewed every single time you decide not to quit when quitting would be easy. There will be days when nothing feels rewarding, when progress feels invisible, when your mind asks why you are even trying, and those days matter more than the good ones because they shape your identity. Anyone can move forward when things feel good, but only those who continue when things feel empty develop real strength. Emptiness is not failure, emptiness is space, and space is where new capacity is built. You were never meant to be entertained by your goals, you were meant to be shaped by them. Pressure is not your enemy, pressure reveals what you are. Training, when things feel empty, develop real strength. Emptiness is not failure, emptiness is space, and space is where new capacity is built. You were never meant to be entertained by your goals, you were meant to be shaped by them. Pressure is not your enemy, pressure reveals what you are training. When pressure arrives and you remain steady, you are proving to yourself that you are becoming reliable. And reliability is one of the most powerful traits a person can have because it creates trust, self-trust. And momentum. Momentum is not created by intensity, it is created by showing up again and again even when nothing exciting happens. Most breakthroughs look boring while they are happening. Repetition does not feel heroic, but repetition builds mastery. Mastery is not talent, mastery is staying long enough for effort to compound. Compounding is invisible at first, which is why impatient minds quit early. But patient minds eventually pass everyone who rushed. You do not need to compare your pace with anyone else. Comparison steals focus and replaces progress with anxiety. Your only responsibility is to stay aligned with your standards, and standards are built by what you tolerate and what you refuse to tolerate. If you refuse to tolerate excuses, inconsistency, and self-betrayal, your life begins to change automatically. You are training your nervous system right now to understand that effort is safe, that focus is manageable, and that discomfort does not equal danger. Once effort stops feeling dangerous, you gain control over your actions. Control creates calm, calm creates clarity, clarity improves decisions, and decisions shape destiny. Destiny is not something you wait for, it is something you build through ordinary actions repeated for an extraordinary amount of time. There is no finish line you suddenly cross where everything becomes easy. Instead, there is a gradual strengthening where Challenges that once felt heavy begin to feel normal. Normal is powerful because what feels normal no longer drains you. When discipline becomes normal, progress accelerates naturally. You are not behind, you are not broken, and you are not late. You are in training, and training always feels slower than performance. Do not quit during training and then wonder why performance never arrives. Patience is not passive. Patience is controlled forward motion without panic. Panic destroys focus. Focus creates results. Results arrive quietly, and by the time others notice them, they will assume it was luck or talent, but you will know it was consistency. Consistency is boring to watch but life-changing to live. Every time your mind tries to escape into distraction, remember that distraction does not relax you, it delays your growth. Real peace comes from progress, not from avoidance. Avoidance multiplies anxiety, while action reduces it. You do not need to feel confident to act. Confidence is the result of acting despite doubt. Doubt will visit again and again, but doubt does not mean stop, it means expand. Expansion always feels unfamiliar before it feels empowering. You are allowed to feel tired, you are allowed to feel uncertain, but you are not allowed to abandon yourself. Self-abandonment is the root of regret. Staying with yourself through effort builds pride that does not depend on praise. Praise fades, pride stays. Build pride by keeping promises to yourself. Every small promise you keep strengthens your internal authority. Internal authority removes hesitation. Hesitation wastes time. Time is your most valuable resource because it never returns. Use time deliberately, not perfectly, deliberately. Perfection delays action. Action creates feedback. Feedback creates improvement. Improvement compounds. Compounding changes lives. There will be moments when the gap between where you are and where you want to be feels heavy, but that gap is not mocking you, it is guiding you. The gap shows direction. Direction matters more than speed. If you keep direction and maintain effort, arrival becomes inevitable. Inevitability is powerful because it removes fear. Fear survives on uncertainty. Discipline reduces uncertainty. When you trust yourself to continue, fear loses influence. You are becoming someone who does not need external pressure to move. That is freedom. Freedom is not doing whatever you want. Freedom is being able to do what you decided. Decided people move faster than motivated people because decisions remove negotiation. Negotiation drains energy. Energy must be protected because it fuels consistency. Protect your energy by simplifying choices, reducing noise, and committing to fewer things with greater depth. Depth beats surface effort every time. Shallow work creates shallow results. Deep work creates durable results. Durable results change self-image. When your self-image changes, behavior follows automatically. You no longer have to force yourself to act in alignment. Alignment becomes natural. Natural discipline is the goal. Until then, practice discipline deliberately. Practice does not need to feel good, it needs to be repeated. Repetition is how the surrendering where you are going. This balance creates stability. Stability allows endurance. Endurance carries you through long seasons. Long seasons build strong people. Strong people do not rush, they endure. Endure calmly, deliberately, patiently. The version of you that stays will always defeat the version that quits. Quitting feels like relief but creates long-term regret. Staying feels uncomfortable but creates long-term pride. Choose pride. Pride rooted in effort is unshakable. External success may come and go, but internal strength stays. Internal strength becomes visible eventually. When it does, others will ask how you did it. The answer will be simple and unglamorous. You stayed when it was boring, you continued when it was uncomfortable, and you trusted the process when nothing seemed to be happening. That is how lives change, not through sudden miracles, but through quiet, relentless consistency. Keep going, keep choosing discipline over distraction, intention over impulse, and patience over panic, because the strongest version of you is not waiting somewhere in the future, it is being built right now through every moment you refuse to quit. Now continue listening closely, because this second phase is where endurance becomes awareness and awareness turns into quiet authority, and you begin to realize that the real battle was never outside of you. It was always between impulse and intention, between comfort and commitment, between who you were conditioned to be and who you are deliberately choosing to become. Most people never slow down long enough to notice how often they abandon themselves in small moments, how often they trade long-term growth for short-term relief, but you are noticing now, and noticing is the first form of control. Control does not mean force, it means choice, the ability to pause before reacting and to act from direction rather than emotion. Emotion is unstable, it rises and falls, but direction is steady, and steadiness is what carries people through long seasons where motivation disappears. You are learning that you do not need to feel inspired to move forward, you only need to remember why. Stopping is no longer an option. Stopping feels easy in the moment but expensive over time, while continuing feels demanding in the moment but rewarding over time. Time always collects payment, and disciplined people choose to pay with effort now instead of regret later. Regret is heavy because it carries the weight of unused potential, while effort is heavy only temporarily and then transforms into strength. Strength is not loud. It does not announce itself, it shows up as calm under pressure. Clarity in confusion, and consistency when others fade, this is what you are training right now, not hype, not adrenaline, but reliability. Reliability is rare, and rare traits create uncommon lives. Uncommon lives are not built by dramatic decisions. They are built by ordinary decisions repeated without compromise. Compromise with comfort weakens direction, but commitment to standards sharpens it. Standards are not rules imposed on you, they are promises you make to your future self. When you honor those promises, you reduce internal conflict. And internal conflict is what drains most people more than hard work ever could. When your actions and values align, effort feels cleaner, simpler, and more sustainable. Sustainability matters because anything that cannot be sustained will eventually collapse. Many people experience short bursts of progress followed by long periods of stagnation because they never learn how to regulate their pace. You are learning regulation now, how to push without burning out, how to rest without quitting, how to move without panic. Panic creates urgency, urgency creates mistakes, mistakes create self-doubt, and self-doubt feeds hesitation. Hesitation is costly because it delays action, and delayed action compounds lost time. Time is neutral. It rewards consistency and punishes inconsistency without emotion. It does not care how talented you are or how much potential you have. It only responds to what you repeatedly do. This is why repetition matters. More than intensity, intensity impresses for a moment, repetition transforms over a lifetime. You are choosing repetition. Repetition builds familiarity, familiarity reduces fear, and reduced fear improves execution. Execution is where ideas become reality. Ideas without execution create frustration, but execution without perfection creates progress. Progress fuels belief. Belief strengthens commitment, and commitment simplifies decisions. Simplified decisions free mental energy. Mental energy allows focus. Focus multiplies effort. Multiplied effort compounds results. This chain begins with staying present and refusing to escape when things feel dull or uncomfortable. Discomfort is not a signal to stop, it is a signal that you are no longer numb. Numbness is comfortable but dangerous because it hides dissatisfaction until it becomes regret. You are choosing awareness instead of numbness. Awareness can feel uncomfortable at first, but it is empowering because it gives you choice. Choice is freedom. Freedom is not the absence of responsibility, it is the ability to choose responsibility deliberately. Responsibility gives life structure, and structure creates stability. Stability allows growth to stand instead of collapse. Many people chase freedom by avoiding responsibility and end up trapped by chaos. You are doing the opposite. You are accepting responsibility and gaining freedom through order. Order is not rigidity, it is clarity. Clarity reduces anxiety. Anxiety often comes from knowing what you should do but not doing it. Action dissolves anxiety, not instantly, but steadily. Steady reduction is sustainable. Sustainability is the goal. You are not here to feel good for a moment, you are here to become effective for a lifetime. Effectiveness is built through skill, and skill is built through repetition under imperfect conditions. Perfect conditions rarely arrive. Those who wait remain waiting. Those who adapt move forward. Adaptation requires humility, the willingness to learn, adjust, and continue without ego. Ego demands recognition, but growth demands patience. Patience is not waiting passively, it is working consistently without immediate reward. Immediate reward trains dependence, delayed reward trains strength. Strength is self-generated, not borrowed. Borrowed confidence disappears when circumstances change, but earned confidence stays. You earn confidence by doing difficult things repeatedly without quitting. Quitting trains the opposite. Response: it teaches the mind that discomfort equals danger. You are retraining that response, teaching your system that discomfort is manageable and temporary. This retraining changes how you respond to future challenges. Challenges that once felt overwhelming will begin to feel familiar. Familiarity reduces resistance. Reduced resistance increases speed naturally. Speed. Feedback to adjust, not to quit. Quitting solves nothing, it only delays the lesson. You are choosing to learn now instead of later. Later always costs more. You are investing effort now to buy freedom later. Freedom built this way cannot be taken away because it lives inside you. External circumstances will change, but internal discipline travels with you. Discipline is portable power. Take it everywhere. Use it quietly. Let results speak later. For now, remain steady, remain deliberate. Remain patient, because this second phase is not about proving anything to the world, it is about proving reliability to yourself, and once you know you can rely on yourself, nothing external has the power to stop you. As you move deeper into this third phase, begin to understand that what you are developing now is not just endurance but self-mastery, the ability to remain intentional even when the mind grows restless and the environment offers countless exits. because true strength is revealed not when things are hard for a moment but when they are demanding for a long time and you continue without drama. Many people mistake pressure for danger and immediately look for relief, but pressure is simply resistance, and resistance is what strengthens capacity when it is met calmly instead of avoided. You are learning how to meet resistance without panic, without negotiation, and without self-criticism, and that calm response is what separates controlled individuals from reactive ones. Reactivity keeps people trapped in cycles, while control allows direction. Direction is not about knowing every step ahead. It is about knowing the next step and taking it consistently. Consistency is more powerful than certainty because certainty waits for proof while consistency creates it. Proof builds trust, and trust in yourself is the most stabilizing force you can have, because when you trust yourself to continue, you stop wasting energy on doubt. Doubt thrives in inaction, but action weakens doubt by exposing it as noise rather than truth. This is why movement matters even when clarity feels incomplete. Because clarity often follows action, not the other way around. Many people wait to feel ready and remain stuck indefinitely, but you are learning that readiness is built by starting and reinforced by staying. Staying is uncomfortable at first because it removes the escape routes your mind is used to, but once escapes are removed, focus strengthens naturally. Focus is not forced, it is protected, and you are protecting it by choosing presence over distraction. Distraction promises relief but delivers stagnation, while presence feels demanding but delivers progress. Progress does not always feel demanding but delivers progress. Progress does not always feel rewarding in the moment, but it reduces internal conflict, and reduced internal conflict is what creates calm. Calm is not the absence of challenge, it is the ability to remain composed within challenge. Composure improves decision-making, and better decisions compound into better outcomes over time. Time does not reward intensity alone. It rewards reliability, and reliability is built when you do what you said you would do. Regardless of mood, mood is temporary, identity is lasting, and identity is shaped by repeated behavior. You are shaping an identity of follow-through, and follow-through simplifies life because it removes internal arguments. Internal arguments drain more energy than hard work ever could. When your actions align with your values, effort feels cleaner and more sustainable. Sustainability is essential because anything that cannot be sustained will eventually collapse. Many people push hard for short periods and then disappear, not because they lack potential, but because they never learn how to regulate effort. Regulation is what you are practicing now, how to apply steady pressure without burnout, how to continue without self-punishment, how to rest without quitting. Quitting feels like relief but creates long-term frustration, while resting with intention preserves momentum. Momentum is not about speed. It is about continuity, and continuity is what allows skills, habits, and confidence to develop deeply. Depth matters because shallow effort creates fragile results, while deep effort creates stability. Stability allows growth to stand even when conditions change. Conditions will always change, motivation will fluctuate, and external support will come and go, but internal discipline travels with you. Discipline is portable power. And portable power gives you freedom because it allows you to act independently of circumstances. Freedom is not comfort, freedom is choice. The ability to choose effort over ease when effort aligns with your values. Values give direction, Direction organizes energy, and organized energy produces results. Disorganized energy feels busy but goes nowhere. You are organizing your energy by committing to fewer things with greater consistency. Consistency reduces anxiety because it replaces uncertainty with structure. Structure does not restrict growth, it supports it. Without structure, growth collapses under its own weight. This is why disciplined people appear calm, not because life is easier for them, but because their systems are stronger. Systems matter more than willpower because willpower is finite, while systems carry you forward automatically. You are building internal systems now through repetition. Repetition trains the nervous system to treat effort as normal rather than threatening. Once effort feels normal, resistance decreases and focus increases. Increased focus improves quality, and quality accelerates progress without extra strain. This is efficient growth, not rushed growth. Rushed growth creates mistakes, mistakes create discouragement, and discouragement leads to quitting. You are avoiding this cycle by maintaining patience. Patience is not passive, it is controlled forward motion without panic. Panic creates urgency, urgency creates poor choices, and poor choices create setbacks. Setbacks are not failures, but unnecessary setbacks waste time. Time is the one resource that cannot be recovered, which is why using it deliberately matters. Deliberate use of time is an act of self-respect. Self-respect grows when you honor commitments to yourself. Every time you keep your word internally, you strengthen internal authority. Internal authority reduces hesitation. Hesitation delays action. Delayed action feeds regret. Regret weakens confidence. Confidence is not built by thinking, it is built by doing. Doing repeatedly under imperfect conditions is how people change their lives. Life changes rarely under imperfect conditions is how people change their lives. Life change is rarely dramatic in the moment, it is cumulative, built through ordinary days handled well. You are handling this day well by staying present, steady, and intentional. Intentional action compounds quietly. Quiet compounding creates momentum. Momentum carries you through periods when discipline feels heavy. Heavy does not mean wrong,